Hey friends, it's Jasmine, and I hope that you all are doing well. Today I'm going to be answering a tarot question that I have received actually from one of my students who took our TTC, which stands for Tarot Training Course. And this student sent me a message and they would like my opinion and my advice on how I would navigate this situation. So I figured instead of just making a response to them, I thought that because this question, I really liked this question. I don't know how else to say. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to make a response because I know that there are many others who are getting into similar situations who maybe are first time, tarot readers or new to the industry and aren't really sure how to navigate some of these situations. So I figured by me making a video response to this question, it might also be able to help some of the rest of you who might also be in a similar situation. So let's get right into the question. So the question that I received was, hey, I need some advice from the most knowledgeable witch that I know. I'm doing my first tarot party this weekend for a group of veterinarians. I'm no longer charging for my services as I am doing this as a favor for my cousin. Any advice on doing large parties? There will be 10 to 15 people there. Also, I've got a new job, and so I've been focused on that, and I let my tarot practice slide. Any advice on bolstering up my skills before I do this party? Your insight and advice is much appreciated. Well, first of all, I always appreciate people sending me, their questions, whether it be for divination or occult questions. And anytime a student, from our courses sends me a question, it definitely is a priority on my list to answer. And I'm very flattered and I'm very honored and I'm very humbled that you sent this question to me. The most knowledgeable witch that you know, that's very flattering. You're doing your first tarot party this weekend for a group of veterinarians, which I think that's a very exciting place to be in your tarot practice. Our practices differ and what we choose to do with our skill set and our gifts is, our own prerogative. But as someone who does, work in metaphysics at a metaphysical store, as someone who does do divination, and as someone who's been in this industry for quite a while, and I've had experience from, doing the phone lines in person at a brick and mortar. I also travel a lot at various festivals. I've done readings for barter. I've done readings for donation, so I do have some experience here. So I feel like I can answer your question to the best of my abilities, but for the record, this answer is purely based off of my own experience. So take that as you will. I think it's really cool that you are doing your very first tarot party. I remember when I did my first tarot party and I was so nervous. Even though I felt confident in my skills, I felt confident in my abilities, and I felt like I was proficient in the RWS language, which is the traditional tarot language standard that we teach in TTC. I felt like I was very confident in that, but I had never been in that sort of environment before. So for me, that was a little bit scary. And so if you're feeling nervous about doing a party, I think that my best advice for you would just to jump in. You might never really feel ready. You just do it. So because this opportunity has been placed in front of you, I definitely would encourage you to take it with full force. You know what I mean? It's a very exciting place to be, and it's definitely an experience. Your first tarot party as a reader is something that you aren't going to forget. So why not make it the best that you can? And as far as preparation for things that you can do beforehand, definitely make sure that you're going in the right headspace. I feel like for me, the days that I am having bad days, I struggle more. I feel like for me, the days where, I'm having bad days, I struggle a little bit more. So some things that you can do to help you kind of attune yourself and plug yourself in to being in reader mode. Because I've talked about this before, but you are a full functioning person with your own stuff going on and emotions and your own spirituality and your own priorities, right? But when you are the reader, you are now being put in a position of service to your people, whoever your people might be. In this case, you're doing a party of 10 to 15 people for a group of veterinarians. So you are of service to them. So you need to be able to be in the right mindset to be of service. So maybe that means like the night before, right? Maybe you take a nice spiritual bath, or maybe you fast if that's something that you feel like empowers you. If it's not, then skip the fasting. Be conscientious of what you're putting, in your body and what activities that you are doing. I think that it helps to very much kind of ground yourself before. So that might be the night before, and that also might be the day of before actually going to the party. Whether that be, wearing specific crystal jewelry like some black tourmaline or some hematite, or possibly engaging in some adult interactions with your partner. That can be something that is actually very grounding and can help very much bring you in to the physical world. So that way you can be all there and all present. Definitely make sure that you eat something before going to the party. You do not want to be, around all of that and being of service on a complete empty stomach. You kind of can't pour, you can't fill a glass from an empty cup, as they say. So I would make sure that you eat something. Make sure that you bring some water with you as well. If you're going to be reading for 10 to 15 people, that's a lot of talking. So you might want to think about possibly bringing some throat lozenges, like some cough drops, or some hard candy, just to kind of keep your throat moisturized, because doing a couple readings back to back is one thing, but if you're going to be doing 15 separate readings, you're definitely going to want to have a little something to kind of keep yourself going. Maybe also get some caffeine as well, if that's something that you do. Let's see. You said that you're no longer charging for your services and that you're doing this as a favor for your cousin, which I think is wonderful. And I talked about that in TTC as well, like what your tarot goals are. Being a full-time tarot business reader is not everybody's thing. For plenty of people, this can be an act of service or a gift that you bestow upon people, which is a beautiful thing. And that's a great space to be as well. Personally, I think that there should always be some sort of equal exchange of energy. So if you choose to make this a charitable act, I think that's a beautiful and admirable thing. But I want you to also know that your time, your skills, your education, your gifts, your dedication to learning this language, the energy that you will be spending reading for these people, in my opinion, should be compensated somehow. And if you want this to be a complete act of charity, like I said, I think that's wonderful and admirable, but that's a lot to take on. So an equal exchange of energy doesn't always have to be something monetary. It doesn't always have to be financial. It could also be like food, drinks, or gifts. And a lot of times when you do these things, you will find, I feel, that spirit will open doors for you in other ways because you have done this good deed or you have done this charitable act. So, the people that you meet during this party, you might find want to book you for another party. And then a friend of that party wants to book you for their niece and their aunt who wants a reading. And that's how tarot businesses grow. Now, of course, you don't have to go into this with an expectation of anything, but just something to keep in mind is you can't pour from an empty cup. So having an equal exchange of energy is not selfish, and it's not a bad thing to ask for compensation. And I think that's something that a lot of tarot readers sometimes feel hesitant about, especially when they first start off. Also, that you said that you've started a new job and you've been very focused on that. Any advice on bolstering up your skills before you do this party? So I would say, as far as bolstering up your skills, you've taken TTC, so you can definitely, go back through some of those documents and you can do some of those exercises, those tarot sizes that we have. Really work through your major arcana, your royal arcana, your minor arcana. Work, separate the deck into those 3 categories and work through each of those again. Maybe try doing a journal entry once a day until the day of this party. Do some readings for yourself and do some readings for other people as well. You could definitely incorporate that to kind of bolster up your practice a little bit. I think even if you just do a general, past, present, future for yourself or for your partner or for your family, that can help you as well. And really taking a look at those tarot sizes that we have in the TTC, I think, where we have like the major arcana, where you do readings only with the major arcana, or you do a journal entry about a time in your life where this particular major arcana card applies. Go and revisit those exercises because they're still there for you. Even though you've already taken and passed TTC, you still have those documents, so you can still go back through those worksheets. And I think that would really help you. So I hope that this has answered your question. If there's anything that I didn't explain or that you still have more questions about, please reach out to me, and I hope that you're doing well. And I'm so excited, and I just feel like such a proud craft mom right now, that you're doing this and that you're doing your first party, and I look forward to hearing all about it. Until next time, blessed be.